Good afternoon, everybody. We're here today to talk about our project in the Senior Design Showcase, the Wetland Determination Tool. We worked with and for the USDA on creating the document automation part that I'll get to. And then real quick, we'll go through our stakeholders. So from the USDA, we worked with Ryan Kramer, Corey King, Corey Schmidt, who is here, and Ann Pollock, yeah. And then here on the senior design team, we worked with Bill, Shruti, and David, who kind of gave us a sense of what it was like in industry, helped us out with that. And then for our team members, of course, here's Abby, who's squad lead and project manager, Jeff, who's the development manager, Luke, Justin, and myself, who were developers on the project. So the problem that the USDA was having was that in order to conduct wetland determinations, they had a lot of data for each one of the determinations. Basically, a plot of land would get surveyed, and they would collect all kinds of data to determine if it was a wetland. And with previous teams' work, they had a tool that they could put in the data, but what they didn't have was a way for that data to then go into documents to be sent off to farmers and landowners. So that is where we came in. Our whole project was trying to get all of this data correctly in case there was issues, and then correctly into documents in a nice and formatted way.
So yeah, that was our solution. We worked with a previous created document, created application, and what we did was help take that information and put into documentation. So things started out as a template that needed filling in, and all the places where information was previously hand added in, typed in. We inserted keywords that would refer back to places into the documentation and to other input locations in the application itself, in the add-in, and that it would take and put all of that data in its correct places. Sometimes it had to do some data manipulation, combining, in all sorts of different ways. We added in image signatures, so they wouldn't have to all be individually signed, whether physically or electronically. And all of those information that we had 11 templates that we worked with. Some were documentation, some were letters, some were other information. But all of those got combined together at the very end. And so here is a view of the tool itself, the add-in. So when the main place that we worked was in this automation tab. So these are all of the different letters and documents that needed printed out. You could export a single one, a few multiple, all of them. They had a specific order if you did all of them. But all of these ended up being automated. And here is another tab that we worked on. It was data entry, so things that weren't in the database that were needed for this export. There is nowhere in the database for them to be saved, so these were specifically for document augmentation. And so as a view on what the templates looked like, so we took a template and we added in little keywords just to see it as a visual. So now they're in Word documents. The sponsors can edit them as things are updated and changed. And then once our automation is done, it will replace all those keywords with the information needed, whether those checkboxes, texts, images, such. And so our project was helping them take a whole bunch of documentation, pages and pages and pages of it, from being hand typed and worrying about small, minute errors and repetition to automated and much faster. So if there's any little fixes that need done, they can focus on those more important things. for us, we learned an absolute ton from this project. The code base was a large code base that we hadn't worked with before. There was a lot to learn from that. GIS software, none of us had used that before, and a bunch of different things working with our sponsors, and we really, really enjoyed it. And we would like to thank them